Nos encontramos en LA, en Los Ángeles, en el Hotel de Concentración de Barcelona, con Ilkay Gündogan, el fichaje estrella de esta temporada, uno de los refuerzos del Barcelona para la temporada 23-24, en el intento de volver a competir por ganar la Champions. Good morning, Ilkay. How's everything? How do you feel after the illness, the episode of illness yesterday that didn't allow Barcelona to play in Santa Clara?
I'm feeling good. I'm thankfully healthy. Of course, it hit some players, but from what I've heard is that they are also feeling better. So hopefully tomorrow we will have most of the players back, hopefully all of them, and we'll be ready to play Arsenal because obviously for us it's very important to get the game time, to get used to each other and to get ready for the season.
How did the team live the episode of the suddenly having to cancel the match against Juventus? How did the team live? How did you live it?
Well,
with surprise or?
Yeah, of course we were surprised. I mean, most of us, we woke up in the morning and when we went to breakfast, we already heard that a few players feel unwell, that they didn't even come down, to have breakfast. So obviously it was very surprising for us. Also the amount of players that it hit, which is quite unusual, so many players at the same time ill. We had a few players before, and they were still recovering. But in total, all of these players, to have them out made it, simply impossible for us, to play the game. And quickly they informed us that the game is cancelled. It was a bit unlucky for us, but hopefully the players will recover as soon as possible. And again, hopefully, we are very confident that we will be ready to play Arsenal. Because again, it's very important for us to prepare ourselves as good as possible for the season.
Define yourself as a player with one word or with as little words as it's possible.
I think I would probably say that one of the key words for my game is adaptation. I think I'm a very flexible player. I think I can play different kind of positions, different kind of roles. And I have done that in the past, with Manchester City as well. I played a holding midfielder role. I played a double pivot role. I played a number 10, more offensive role. I even played a false 9, fake striker. So honestly, I think I can play several positions. And I think this is something that the coach also appreciates about me. And wherever I am needed, I'm ready to help because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that the team is successful.
Who of the players that you had not seen before, who has surprised you the most?
Well, I know most of them from watching them, but also playing against them. Whether it was in club football or also in the national team. So one of the players I was really looking to train with, and also play with was Pedri, because I think he's a great talent. I think he's still so young but already so good, and still there's a lot of potential. And of course we are playing similar positions. We will probably play a lot of games very close to each other. We will try to find each other a lot and pass to each other, similar to someone like Frenkie de Jong. I think as a midfielder, you appreciate these players who are very close to you, on the field, and who you will pass the ball to each other and who you will combine with and start to create actions with. So I really enjoy playing with these kind of players because they're so smart.
You have been 7 years with Pep Guardiola, and you have been just a few days with Xavi. But have you noticed any difference or similarities between them in a few days?
Well, you can see that it's the same school. I think you can see that Pep had an influence on Xavi and his game, but of course also the Barça school, the possession, the keeping the ball, trying to create, playing smart, finding the right spaces. So actually a lot of things that we are doing here in training right now are very similar to what I have done with Man City and with Pep. And I think this gives me also an advantage, and helps also my game a lot. So so yeah, it just makes it easier for me, to adapt as quick as possible.
One word for Klopp, for Jurgen Klopp. Define him with one word.
Intensity, Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
Tuchel?
Smart.
And Pep?
Genius.
You lifted the champions after several times trying to win it. You were the captain as well. Who do you think should win the Ballon d'Or?
Oh, well, I think the race is just between Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland. I mean, I don't see anyone else getting close to them. I think both of them had great seasons. They won a few titles, both of them. So I'm happy that I'm not the one to decide. But I think either of them would deserve it.
Have you given Xavi the recipe to win the champions?
No, because he won it himself as a player. So I think he knows what to do. He knows what kind of attitude, what kind of determination we need, to get far in that competition. And I remember I said it when I joined the club. I think the base is amazing, here. The potential is unbelievable, and I think if we are able, to get everything out of ourselves on the pitch, I think we have very good chances to get very far. And this club's responsibility is to play for winning the Champions League, definitely.
Is Real Madrid the only rival for the league, to win the league?
Well, on paper, it's probably the biggest rival to compete for the league. But also for me, the league is new, I still need to get to know all of the teams because I know from my experience that even the teams that you think or that might be a little bit smaller teams, that they can be very dangerous and they can hurt you. And I already spoke with a few of the players, that some, especially away trips, away games that can be very difficult and tough to play. So I think there will be more. But the league, the season is going to be exciting, I'm sure.
And which is the worst place to go, they have told you?
I remember just yesterday they told me that Barça naturally struggled in the last few seasons always to go to Celta Vigo. Yeah. That it always was a tough game. I think they said Rayo Vallecano as well. It's a small pitch, they said. It's very intense. So yeah, these are the games that someone outside who never played in this league might think of directly, but it shows how competitive I think also this league can be.
Does it make you feel scared if Real Madrid buys Mbappé?
No, I think for us it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Probably the more better player come into the league, the more attractive the league is going to be and very exciting. And I love to compete with the best players in the world. So of course they have a strong team, but they have a strong team every year. I played against them several years right now on several occasions, whether it was in Champions League semi-finals or on earlier stages. So I'm used to play against Real Madrid, and it's always fun to play against the best teams in the world.
You know well Lewandowski and you know well Haaland. I'm not going to ask you who is better because it would be a tricky question. But the same thing you did with the trainers. Describe them with one word: Lewandowski and Haaland.
I think Levi is difficult to just describe with one word because he already had such a long career and on such a high level. He's just I think he's just world class. A proven player, someone who proved himself throughout the last years, who scored so many goals. And I think Erling is just in the beginning of his career, and still he already won so much. He scored so many goals, and still there's so much potential. So it's so tough to describe them in one word, but. Yeah, Haaland is still so early, in his career, but already scored so many goals and is playing on such a high level.
You can say giant.
No, both have both have power, you know, both have strength, physicality, but also the ability in the right moments to score goals.
Thank you so much for your time and good luck this season.
Thank you, gracias.